Hey there. Clear the air. We give thanks for revelation. We give thanks for complete liberation. So I'm speaking to a collective right now who you had to discover and fine-tune your own intuition. You were somebody who couldn't depend on the voices around you. You didn't have the luxury of being put into like a family unit or into whatever, a societal unit where you could trust the voices around you. And it probably made you look like you were simply not seeking wise counsel, or that you didn't listen, but it was all because you were always meant to discover your own voice, your own internal voice. You had to get to a point where you could test things according to your own revelation, your own understanding, what you were hearing about it, and to find out that your intuition is on point. And the next thing that I was hearing about is for those who have been massively influenced by a personality type that was toxic in nature, like maybe they had narcissistic tendencies or sociopathic or worse. When you were raised up by such a toxic, like I'm speaking from childhood, so like if you were raised by a guardian who had these toxic type of emotionally regulatory symptoms, toxic emotional, because so the point is a lot of narcissism really comes from being neglected emotionally as a child. So it's like the person that is there's like different types and different levels, like it's a spectrum of narcissism, right? So some are malignant narcissists, which means they are literally just like broken. Maybe they're reprobate, which means they chose that, and they don't care, and they have no empathy, and they have no desire to learn and no capability, no capacity to self-reflect and consider if they are the problem. So there's that's like the very extreme end. And then there's all the way up to just like maybe they were never taught how to 2, 3, 4 up here. Maybe they were never taught to emotionally regulate, or maybe they were emotionally abandoned as a child, and therefore that manifested into narcissistic type tendencies, and then that is how you were programmed as a child. So what I was just hearing, this messaging was like, don't be hard on yourself about because the body keeps the score, and you were literally programmed to interact with this person, to do the dance according to their rules. And often their rules are that they're right, you're wrong. So it's crazy, because as an adult, if you stay in touch with this person and the dynamic does not change because they refuse to grow, you will continue playing according to the rules that were programmed, even if neither of you actually want to see that manifestation. So for example, if the rules are that they're always right and therefore you're wrong, your body and your identity that has been programmed in terms of like, this is how we do this, you will act accordingly. You will respond accordingly. So the message right now is do not shame yourself for what you went through, B, how it manifested in terms of the relationship, and C, that this is also just a note for you in case you haven't figured this out yet. When you remove that connection, you will find that when you cut the cord between you and that toxic energy, you will find magically you're able to, this is assuming that you're doing your interpersonal work, that you're doing your inner work, that you're also not refusing to evolve or grow, that you are actually choosing to heal. So there's a lot of variables in it, and you have to be participating. I'm hearing cooperating with the divine in order to heal yourself. But what I'm saying is, don't shame yourself for how you act in this when you have been tethered to this toxic energy, because especially if it started at really young or pre-verbal, it's a survival mechanism it's a survival mechanism that you act how you are called to act according to this authority figure that you just believe inherently is right, and that is the boss. And when you're little, it's like, this is what makes safety, is if I just play along, so they're right, I'm wrong. But what's wild about this is, as you grow up as an adult, it will manifest, like, you will start being wrong all the time, so long as that person is connected to you, because you are performing in accordance with the unspoken agreement, the unspoken terms and conditions of this nasty connection. And this can be a loving parent, and I'm putting this in quotations for those who are not like looking at the video and just listening. I'm putting it in quotations because it is not loving if it's a toxic narcissistic dynamic. It is not loving, but I'm putting it in quotations because we kind of just are told, like, this template between parent and child is automatically healthy and it's automatically loving, when it's not necessarily. And so healing is possible. I want to say that first and foremost. You can heal. You can heal. You can reprogram your mind. It's so beautiful. The Creator gave us a way out from this. But if the other person refuses to acknowledge their part of this dynamic, and they refuse to do any healing, self-reflection, any growing, or if they're not doing it at a rate, some of them, by the way, a lot of people will pretend like they're going to do it, but then they don't. So if you don't see the actual manifestation of changes and the actual ownership of accountability and things like that, then there is a time and a place to cut off from a toxic connection, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a job. Like, there are times and places when it's necessary to cut off from that toxic dynamic. And then what's wild is how all of a sudden you'll be able to, like, burst into the fullness of your identity, no longer playing the role that has been assigned by that toxic person. I pray that this message reaches who it's for. I manifest that it will, and I also manifest that the Spirit will bridge the gap in anything that I have not explained well here. So be blessed, be well, be free, and I'm cheering for you.